So in this video I will show you how to use the Excel based outline extractor. So this utility gives you an option to create files which is of an Essbase loadable format. Like there is a checkbox which you can enable to get the output as an Essbase loadable file. What that means is if you don't use the function, all the dynamic cals never share will be named as dynamic calc and never share itself. But when you use this function, the dynamic calcs will be replaced by x, never share will be replaced by n, and all the other properties. So you can use the checkbox. When you enable the checkbox, then the file that will be created will be of Essbase loadable format. So for this utility, it requires an XML file uh, which is extracted using the Maxwell statement. So from 11.1.2 release onwards, there is a new Maxwell statement which is included, which is export outline. So you can use that Maxwell statement and then generate the XML file. You can use all dimensions or you can go for specific dimensions itself. So once that file is created, you can open the XML file using Excel. Then Excel will give you three options to open the file. So you can use the last option, which is use the XML source task pane. So once the file is created, you can open the file, navigate to the path where the XML file is extracted, and then in my case it is a SAM plan and C colon temp. This extract is an extract of a sample basic application. Sorry, sample planning application. So open the file and then use the last method, which is use the XML source task pane. So when the file opens up, you can see that now an extra window is docked to Excel, which is called as application map, and you can see that there are a lot of information that is populated in a hierarchical way. So whatever is the children of let's say that dimension, so all the uh, properties that are coming under dimension is a property of the dimension. So likewise, all the properties under a tag called member is the property of that particular generation member. So let's see how we can create the required information for the member input sheet. So from the member input, you have to drag all the fields called name from the application map. So this has to be done for dimensions and members. So you can use a highlight a particular cell, do a double click and get the value, or else you can drag the field called name and place it in a cell also. So both ways you can populate the same information. So once all the information is populated, then you can navigate to the data tab in Excel and then click on refresh all button to populate the data. So go to data tab and then use refresh all. So this utility is following a single dimension approach. So if you look at the first field called name, that is the field for all the dimensions. So then you can use the filter to filter out the dimension that you want. In this case I'm going with account dimension. So all the information related to account will be populated. So you can select all information, then do a copy and then come back to the utility and paste it in the member input sheet. If you want to add extra properties, you can use the checkboxes against each property and that will enable an input sheet for each property. So only thing that you have to keep in mind is if you are not using any property, then you have to uncheck the checkbox. So let's see how alias can be created for the sheet. So come back to the main sheet, and then you can use the put a checkbox against alias, and then that will enable the alias input sheet. So for alias input, you have to drag all the fields called name followed by alias value from application map. So let's see how this is done. So come back to the sheet that we were working uh, earlier. Then you can highlight all the columns except the first one, then delete those information, and then alias comes under a different parent. The alias value comes under a different parent called alias. So only thing that you have to do is expand or collapse the information that is available and see for a parent called alias under the, like, if you are enabling it for dimension, then you have to check under dimension if there is a parent called alias. So for dimension we don't have any alias information, so go with the first generation, uh, populate that name there by double click or drag and drop, and then you have to collapse that member and see the alias value for that particular generation. So you can see that alias value comes under this member, and that is the alias value of that particular generation. So double click on that and then expand the second generation, populate the value there, and then go to alias and populate the alias value, and you can continue this till the last generation, and all the alias values and populate all the alias values. So once all the information is populated, you have to make sure that name is followed by alias. So in case if alias value is missing, you have to add a blank column after name. So in this case we can see that dimension was not having any alias value, so I have to add a blank there, and make sure that all the name is name is followed by alias. So that I think is fine. So then once that is done, you can navigate to the data tab and then click on refresh all. So go to data tab and then say refresh all, which will populate all the alias values. You will not see alias for many of the fields, but many generation alias value. So select all information, copy the information, and then paste it in the alias input sheet.